What's up? How you doing? Beautiful day today up here in the mountains. The mountains. I see a lot of paw prints on the ground. I don't know what those are. Anyway, what's up? How you doing? Here I am, top of the mountains. Beautiful day, fresh air. See some birds flying over there. You can hear them in the back there. Very nice up here. Calm, relaxing. Plane going by. Stivaleti. I have a friend named Stivaleti. And in 1989, he went to Norway. He was an explorer. Went to high school with him. His father was an explorer too, still is. Back in high school, we thought his father had died, disappeared, couldn't find him. He ended up going on a trip to Greenland, and he never came back. And my friend went there a few times looking for him. He was expecting to find him in a block of ice, frozen, but didn't find anything. And then he went back again. And recently he did find him alive. My friend Stivaleti was on a rowboat going up and down the coast of Greenland. He got tired, and then he noticed in the distance a big rock formation, and on top of that was a lighthouse. And he noticed a dude walking around, so he took the rowboat towards that area. And the closer he got, the more he realized that this guy looked like his father. And it did. It was his father. So they reunited, and the rest is history. But, strange story, but that's what happened. But anyway, in 1989, my friend went to Norway, and he brought back a gift for me. It's handmade. Doors hammer. So I keep it for the memories. Stivaleti gave it to me. But my friend Charlie DiGiovanni has been driving a cab for 60 years. And he's being honored. He's getting an award. Taxi Drivers Freedom Award. I'm going to go to that. He invited me. Very happy for him. And I met him in a strange way. I was in a lonely road, it was dark out, trying to get home. I had run out of money, didn't have money for a cab, a bus, a train, nothing. So I was walking home, had a bag on me over my shoulders, and I'm walking on this road in the middle of nowhere, many miles before I would get home. A bit chilly out. And in the darkness, I could see a light behind me coming. Car's headlights from the back look like something out of Poltergeist. Car stops, I spin around. You never know, it could be a crazy guy. And the window rolled down, and I heard a voice say, "You need a ride?" And I said, "I need a ride, I don't have any money." Looks like a taxi driver who was trying to get a fare, but I didn't have the money. And he said, "Not looking for money, don't worry about that. Where you heading?" And I told him, and he said, "Hop on in." I got in, and very nice guy. His name is Charlie DiGiovanni, and he was telling me a story. He says, "I've been driving a cab for decades now, and I had a similar situation on this road. I was out of money," he said, "and I was walking home on this very road." And this was way before he became a taxi driver. And he said, many miles to go, and all of a sudden behind me, these headlights from a car show up. I spun around, and it was a woman cab driver. Back then that was very rare, woman cab driver. And the lady rolled down the window and said to him, "Where you heading?" And he said, I'm going home." And she said, come on in. And he told her the same thing I told him, I don't have any money. And she said, don't worry about it. And so he said, I promised myself that if I ever found anyone stranded on this road especially, I'd give him a ride home. And he goes, maybe not home, but I'd give them a ride where they wanted to go. So I wanted to go home, and that's what he did. He brought me home, and I was very, very grateful. We've remained friends since that time, and it's no exaggeration to say that he's the best cab driver in the world. 60 years experience. It's a long time sitting like that. Yep. But anyway, they're honoring him. Taxi Drivers Association is giving him the Freedom Award, Freedom Medal. I don't know how many cab drivers got that in their career, but I think it's very rare, very rare. So he will be coming out here, and I will be seeing him, so that's going to be fun. You know what it feels like right now? It feels like when I was a kid and I'd roam around with my friends in the city, and it would have this crisp, fresh feeling in the atmosphere. That's what it feels like right now. I don't think kids do that anymore. Roam around like bums. They don't do that anymore. But in my time, 2 or 3 of us would roam around, you know. We'd start off home, bump into each other somewhere along the line, and then walk around. A lot of times we would end up at the railroad tracks. You know, schoolyards, different places, abandoned warehouses. Very quiet. I feel like a mountain lion is stalking me. You never know. These things, they come from the back and they grab you. They put their fangs right into your throat like a vampire, and then you can't get them off. So, and they're very quiet. I don't think bears don't do that. Bears show up from the front. But mountain lions, they will stalk you. Like that show, Little House on the Prairie. Charles Ingalls, good guy. Used to watch that. I saw the first episode, maybe it was the pilot. They were going across from Missouri to, I don't know where the hell they went, the Dakotas, somewhere. And it showed the difficulty of trying to travel back in those days. Very difficult. But I like Charles Ingalls. I did not like that priest on that show. He annoyed me. I don't know. Just one of those things. I mean, he didn't do anything, but I just did not like him at all. He looked like a very annoying person, the priest. The doctor, he was all right. But the priest guy, yeah, very annoying. You can hear a pin drop here. See a lot of rocks here. A lot of rocks. To put them all together, you could probably build a nice little house. You know, I've been walking in here for a bit now, and one thing that I've noticed, a lot of robins and a lot of blue jays. I don't know, they like this area here. Flying around, a lot of robins though. You know, one thing I've learned during this pandemic, modern man would not survive very long if the food chain broke off. Supermarkets stopped providing food for us. We would not make it that far. We just don't have the skills anymore. And you need to prepare months and months at a time to survive through a winter. Got to collect the acorns, maybe have a few 100 pounds of beans, lentils. That's the only way. But very difficult. If we ever had a disturbance in the food supply, millions and millions of people would die within weeks. It's very difficult. You'd have to go back to the caveman days. Spend all your time hunting and eating, and that's it. Nothing else. But yeah, we're not prepared. We don't know. We don't have the skills anymore. Nobody has them. At least not in this country. You know, maybe some farmers, things like that. Yeah, they probably do okay, but everyone else, no. But you need probably 300 pounds of beans, a couple of 100 pounds of lentils, lots of water, flour. But you know, most people don't have any of that. They don't even have a couple of jars of that. It's like the world wants to take you out, trying very hard. They always say it's tailor-made. This place is tailor-made for life. Well, it is if you're going to live a short period. But if you're in it for the long haul, it throws everything at you to take you out. It's not tailor-made. We should have been based on photosynthesis. You know, it's this nonsense of looking for food all the time. Just get all your energy from the sun. You wouldn't have to worry about going hungry. And yeah, water, you need water, but maybe there'd be a way to absorb water from the atmosphere. That sounds better to me. Yep, we do not have the skill anymore. I think we lost that back in the 1800s. Some people still had it during the Great Depression, but today, no, nobody. Looks like the clouds are back. Looks like rain coming. You know, there's an episode on the $6 Million Man where Steve Austin is running with one of those, and then he throws it. I don't know, his was made out of styrofoam and a pipe. That one's real concrete. But he was running with the music, and then he tossed it, And as a kid watching that, I was like, wow, that's cool. Got the bionics in there with the radioactive battery, nuclear battery. In real life, it will throw your balance off because his body is not bionic. So, you know, this area right here, the core, would have a hard time carrying that pipe with the cement on the bottom. His spine would curve from all that weight. It's like just because your arm's bionic doesn't mean that the rest of you can handle all that stress. It's like there was an episode one time, he was going down one of these hills here, and the brakes of the car, they went. Somebody cut the cable, something happened. They had no brakes, and he's in the back seat. So casually he opens up the back door, puts his nice dress shoes on the ground, and stops the car using force from his right leg. Stopped the car, and the car was just going straight, no swerving left or right, end up off a cliff somewhere. And the shoes, tough shoes. The tough shoes, because the force of you trying to stop that car, those shoes would have fallen apart within like 4 seconds. But that's why he was the $6 million man. He could do that kind of stuff. And if I were Oscar Goldman, I would say to him, hey, can you stop abusing your bionics? I saw him one time go to his parents' house and install a fence with his bionics. He was slamming the posts into the ground with his bionic fist. And then he lifted up the refrigerator, I remember, moved it around. Like even that, you know, he put the hand and he balanced it. But his back had no issue with the weight. Like a lot of ridiculous things on that show. But I liked it. I would make my father spin that station wagon around back in the 70s so I could get back home and watch $6 Million Man. I could not miss that. It was on Sunday nights, 8 o'clock. And I'd tell him, you got to get home. I'd yell at him, what time is it? Spin that station wagon around, get me home. I've seen enough of the world. I want to see the $6 Million Man. It's a good show back then. But you get a little bit older and it doesn't look as good as it used to. Although the opening credits are still cool. Got the doctors bringing out the arm, the leg in there with the screwdriver adjusting it. Yeah, good show. But he abuses bionics all the time. They had an episode where he went to the moon and he was digging into the lunar surface with his fingertips. It's like busting up the, you know, in real life, you get home and they'll be like, you know, that stuff cost $6 million. Imagine running around with this thing. I don't know what this weighs, but it's pretty heavy, you know, and he was running around. If I was $6 million man, I'd chase that car right now. Just for the fun of it. You know, watch the expression on the guy's face when he sees me next to his car going at 66 miles an hour. But yeah, this thing is heavy. I mean, he's running with it. It's all smooth and everything. Just because your arm's bionic, once again, doesn't mean the rest of you. I mean, that spine would have been broken with this thing running like that. And then he tossed it, and it made that whistling sound. Oh yeah, this thing's heavy. Can't imagine throwing this. Plus, it's not balanced. You have to have something back here, make it balanced. Even an arrow. Even an arrow is balanced. Or a knife. Good knife is balanced. That is not balanced. Anyway, I think rain is coming. I think.